the Excel sheet?
No, you just check in the background quickly. Samar, SAMAR. Or rather, if the IPMs were on the call, if you could tell us if any of the students are in the waiting room, we will just let them in. Will that work, please?
Yeah, that's a better idea because
because there's a lot of students and I think they're confused between the Zoom link and the thing. It will really help if the IPMs could let us know and then we will let the students in. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right.
Ma'am, Natasha is still in the waiting room is what she says. Could you let her in?
Okay, I'll just look at it.
Nurain is here now.
Yeah, okay, great. Then we can start.
Yeah.
Jaydev, can you check if the live stream is working? Thank you so much. All right. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to a Choice Project Celebration of Learning. Ideally, we would have really absolutely like to be on campus and welcomed all of you so that you can see the wonderful work our children have done. But the best laid plans of mice and men, I guess. And so here we are with our online webinar and live casting of our Choice Project Celebration of Learning. Before my colleague Ritvika takes you through the presentations for today and what we have on offer, I would just like to take you through some elements of our Choice Project design and the kind of rich offering that we have been able to develop and create for our students. True to our core purpose that we really believe our students should excel in academics in one chosen co-curricular activity and to be fit for life. You would see that we have dedicated about 2.5 hours every week where students explore their passion, where they get to develop different real world skills. This year, we've been able to offer about 18 different projects across passion and social impact projects with so many mentors, so many in-house mentors, and so many exciting learning that our external mentors have been able to offer. And you will be able to hear some of them today. We are also really excited about the graded outcomes that we've been able to offer for each of our projects that we are offering this year. Without much ado, I'd like to hand you over to Ritvika Dwivedi, who will be taking over as an MC for the show and taking us through the wonderful work that students have done. Thank you once again for all your support and for being part of this celebration.
Good morning, parents. So what we have in store for you today is a sampling of learning from our choice projects. Like Soumya said, had we been at school and if the weather and the city infrastructure was on our side of the court, we would have been sitting right now in the hub, and along with presentations on the stage, we would have had a gallery walk where you could walk to the various project stalls and see the student work on display. That said, our commitment to ensure that all students get an opportunity to showcase their work stays strong. So along with the presentations here, we will be sharing a Padlet with you with all the student work across the projects they have done. We urge you to please take the time and go through this Padlet to see our student work. Later this year, we look forward to seeing you all in our annual Inventure production, where our Beyond Academic pods will be showcasing their performance-based work as well. In the upcoming academic term, we will also be hosting a Sprint 2 celebration of learning and a special Beyond Academics showcase, which will give students yet another opportunity to present their learning to the larger Inventure community. I would now like to invite Ms. Nooreen Fazil, CEO and Managing Trustee of Inventure, to come and share a few words about the Choice Project and the kind of learning we offer through this program. Ms. Nooreen?
Thank you so much for putting me on the spot, Ritvika.
Always.
Okay. So I think Soumya kind of said it all. But really, we're strong believers in a need for a different kind of learning. Yes, there's a lot of space for the learning that we provide in schools, but that's primarily tested through an a high stakes exam at the end of the year. And we believe, and I think everything which we're seeing happening with the pandemic and with climate change and the kind of floods that we're experiencing in Bangalore, I think we are vindicated in that, or it's validated rather. Our views in terms of the kind of learning that we need to equip children for the kind of opportunities and challenges that you're facing in the 21st century. We believe the kind of skills that you require are going to go way beyond knowing the right answers to questions that we already know, or we have a good sense for what's coming in order to crack an exam. And we really want you to be able to, explore different things, make choices about what you want to do, and to develop skills like learning to learn, to be innovative, to be adaptive, to be resilient. And I think these skills are going to be required by you over and over again. The kind of challenges that you're experiencing are very different from the kind of challenges we were exposed to, or we're prepared for. And even as a kid in school, I remember I used to not want to go to school, and I used to ask my parents, particularly if I could drop out of college, because I thought it was a complete waste of time just studying stuff which was in a book. And my argument was, hey, I can learn this. I can learn this anyway. I know how to read. I know how to understand. So I can learn this. And I spent a bulk of my growing up years as a teenager pursuing opportunities outside the classroom. So the idea really at Inventure is to bring those learning opportunities to you, to really equip you to be change makers, to help you understand how to work on projects, to do data analysis, and to do all of this in a very sensitive way, because it's not enough for us to succeed, and it's just not possible for one person alone to succeed, right? Look what's happening with the floods, whether you're living in Epsilon or whether you're living in a slum, it's an equalizer. What happened with COVID? Again, an equalizer. A mosquito doesn't really know the difference between one and the other. So I think it's very possible, very, very necessary to ensure that, excuse my pun, but really the tide rises for everybody in a way which is very sustainable. We need to work towards sustainable development. So the idea of these choice time projects is to help build those skills, build those life skills in you. And I'm really encouraged with the team led by Soumya, by Ritika, Mary, Vihari, Meenakshi, both the Meenakshis. I mean, they have really stretched themselves beyond. And I think it's great learning for all of you as students to see your faculty get out of their comfort zone and spot opportunities and really prepare you for the challenges which lie ahead. And I have no doubt that all of you will continue to take advantage of these opportunities, work with your success mentors, work with your project mentors, work with the rest of the faculty to make sure that you're really prepared and fit for life, and that we will not experience the kind of challenges that we are today, because you are going to make sure that we are prepared and we don't land in these kind of situations. So with that, I'm going to hand over to back to Ritvika.
Thank you so much, Nooreen. And with that, let's kickstart this celebration. I would now like to call upon the team of Youth Parliament to please come and present their learning.
Thank you, ma'am. Hi, everyone. My name is Mrenmai, and I'm the Secretary General for Inventure Youth Parliament this year.
And my name is Neha, and I'm the Director General for INYP 2022. Now, before we dive into the celebration of learning and our showcase, we just wanted to give you a quick brief insight into what the Youth Parliament Social Impact Project has achieved so far, why we did what we did, how we went about doing it, and a few of our key findings.
For Youth Parliament, we've been collaborating with the Bangalore Political Action Committee to conduct primary research in government schools across the city. We also attended sessions on topics ranging from the Constitution and the legislative assemblies to public policy, stakeholder management, and research methodologies, which helped us prepare to interview the government school students and conduct our own research. After devising a questionnaire, we visited schools like VK Obaidullah and Hafizia to gauge the impact that the pandemic had on their education and understand efforts taken by their teachers, schools, and the government that help them continue receiving quality education despite the challenges of online school.
I would say that the most memorable interaction we had, though, aside from interviewing the school students, was undoubtedly the political leadership interaction, the one with Mr. Rizwan Arshad, the MLA of Shivaji Nagar. Through this interaction, we were able to communicate our learnings from our government school visits, what we'd heard from the students, our analysis of the key problems that they face with regards to things like their mental health, their academics, etc. Mr. Arshad deeply appreciated our insights, and he even promised to incorporate a few of them as he began on working developing other government schools as infrastructure and educational skeleton in the vicinity.
Our project helped us learn the challenges the education system is facing, and with our conference, we seek to address them. Committees such as AIPPM, a historical crisis committee set at the start of the pandemic, will give delegates a chance to deliberate on the nuances of challenges faced as the pandemic unfolded to draft a response. Other committees, such as the Lok Sabha and civil society, will be working on devising multi-level strategies for recovery. Together, all our committees will draft resolutions to create a design and implementation toolkit to address the gaps we recognized.
And so, without further ado, we present to you the celebration of our learnings through different avenues, storyboards, YP times, skits of the day in the life of the students, as well as reflective logs. We do hope you enjoy the summaries of our learning journey.
YP Times is Inventure's BPAC PA team's journey over the last few months. The pandemic has severely affected education all around the world, and while we were lucky enough to able to continue learning online, we found that many were not as lucky as us. On our journey, we discovered the disparity in education across different institutions and uncovered other problems that were not brought to light, such as mental health and substance abuse. The Bangalore Political Action Committee, or BPAC, is a non-partisan citizens group that aims to improve governance in Bangalore and enhance the quality of life of every Bangalorean.
Working with BPAC, we visited several government schools across Bangalore to understand the gaps in education caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. This magazine, YP Times, includes our experiences during our field visits, details of our interviews with the students, and our interactions with both government and civic personnel. We hope to shine a light on a very serious issue through this effort. However, this is not a one-time exercise. We will continue to add content onto this journal right up to the commencement of the Youth Parliament in October. So keep watching this space for more updates. We now invite Dhriti and Aditi to present vlogs that reflect on our experiences while executing this project.
So, hi, my name is Dhriti. These are our reflective vlogs, which we made as we want to share our experience working on the project with you. So this is one of the vlogs that we made. Aditi, can you share your screen?
Hi, my name is Aditi and I chose this project because it seemed really interesting and I wanted to learn more about how the pandemic affected the lives and education of children from less fortunate backgrounds. I also took up this project because debate has always been something I've been interested in doing. While doing the interviews, I was impressed and amazed by the dedication of these students as well as their incredibly positive attitude. I was inspired by their determination to do well, help their parents, and support their families. I enjoyed learning about their lives and understanding their experiences and perspectives. From the session with the MLA, I learned and gained an understanding of the inner workings of the Lok Sabha as well as the kind of environmentally friendly solutions that they were trying to employ. From the schools that we visited, we were able to accumulate enough data to understand the impact that the pandemic had on the education of these children. Overall, I enjoyed this journey and I'm grateful for having the opportunity to interview the children, allowing me to understand their story.
So that's all for the vlogs. Now we would like to invite Noemi and Sakshi of grade 10 to present the storyboards. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Noemi. I hope you can all see my screen.
And I'm
Okay, so we'll now be taking you through our journey using a storyboard that we created.
We started this project with guest lectures from skilled professionals such as Dr. Vasudhara from Christ College, as well as Harshita Venkatesh and Sharat SR from BPAC. These sessions helped us gain insight into what our project entailed and how we will be executing it.
During these sessions, we split up into groups and had discussions regarding stakeholders and their role and importance in creating public policies.
From there, we went on to create a questionnaire which we used to survey government school students to learn more about the impact of the pandemic on their education.
Using this questionnaire, we boarded the bus and went to two schools in Shivajinagar, VKO and Afizia, where we conducted our first set of research. During our visit, we saw the differences in aid that the schools received.
Many NGOs had helped VKO during the pandemic, helping it become one of the best government schools. Hafizia, however, stopped schooling during the pandemic, and thus students skipped out on 1 to 2 years of education despite being very enthusiastic about school.
This is also where we met Rizwan Arshad, the MLA of Shivajinagar, who we spoke to about our research and how COVID-19 disrupted the schooling of these students, as well as any other after effects the pandemic had.
For our second field visit, we split up and went to 3 different schools, including Vartar Public School and Sigahali, which provided us with a new perspective on the working of rural local self-government in southern India. Our research also led us to recognize the privilege we possess as Inventure students.
The research we conducted was aimed at capturing each student's experience during the pandemic. We looked at how their schools handled the hurdles they were faced with, what resources they had access to, as well as what the students' families went through during the pandemic and what their living situations were like, so that we could fully understand the impact of COVID-19, not only on their education, but also their general living standards and home life.
Using the information we collected from our survey, our Inventure Youth Parliament Executive Board came up with agendas for each committee using relevant issues from the research that pertain to each committee, which you can see in these 2 slides.
Okay, that's it for our side, for our presentation. And now we would like to invite Natasha and Gunjan to present the days in the lives from the perspective of the students that we surveyed.
My name is Fatima. I dream and aspire to become a pilot, but my family doesn't support the idea of my education. My day starts off with waking up around at 7 a.m., helping my grandmother clean the house, sweep the floors, and make breakfast and lunch for everyone in the house. I walk to school with my sister feeling unprotected and unsafe. As soon as I come back home, I'm bombarded with household chores, feeling extremely exhausted the rest of the day. This doesn't let me focus on my studies. I'm constantly interrupted by my family suggesting that I shouldn't focus on my education, but do something much more important, like marriage, convincing me to quit school and get married as soon as possible. But I'm only 12, and the only thing I wanted to do was study. Is that too much to ask for?
Hello, I am Mehak, a 5th grader from VKO school, and this is a day in my life. At 5:30 a.m., I have to wake myself up and my brother and make our breakfasts. It's really not the same as when my parents were around. Yeah, it's difficult, but I have to go to school if I want to become a doctor someday, right? So I walk to school alone, and as soon as I reach school, I see my friends' parents dropping them off every day. They don't even know how tremendously lucky they are. Then our classes start. I'm very grateful for the work our teachers put in for us, but my academic excellence got lost somewhere in the pandemic. Maybe if I had my parents at home to teach me, things would look up. Anyway, after a few classes, we have lunch and then start going home. A little while after, I go for my tuitions, come back, do my homework, and help my grandma set the table. About 4 years ago, my mother committed suicide. Tired of fighting and being abused by my father. I now live with my grandma and uncle, and they work so hard to make us feel comfortable even without our parents. I really don't know what to do without them.
Wonderful, wonderful stories. Really touching. Thank you so much for that, Ritvika.
Yes, thank you so much. I think there are messages on the chat, and you can see how appreciated everyone's appreciating your work. That was great work, the Youth Parliament team. And with that, I'd like to now invite the GenWise team to please come and present their work from this sprint. GenWise, is there anyone from Ms. Vishnu? Are you there?
Can you please unmute?
Yeah, hi, this is Vishnu Agnihotri from GenWise. Can you hear me?
Yes, we
I'm
can.
not on
Vishnu,
mute,
can you please put your work on, put it on a slideshow,
yeah.
Vishnu? Thank you so much.
Yeah, can you hear me? I think
we can hear you, Vishnu.
Yeah,
thank you.
It is on slideshow. Can you?
No, it's not a slideshow.
Yeah. And you can see the presentation, right?
We can, but yeah,
not on
I can now.
slideshow?
Thank
Okay,
you so
one
much.
sec.
It is. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Over to you.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll get started. I'm Vishnu from GenWise, and a couple of students from the Choice Project will also share their experiences. So our Choice Project was basically about scientific reasoning, and this was basically about getting students to start thinking on their own in real life, in practical situations, and research kind of situations. So we went through a whole bunch of exercise routines, which was to build their thinking muscles, and you will get a taste of that in the next few minutes. So there were 4 modules. There were 4 different mentors who conducted these things. There was this whole process of conducting a scientific inquiry, developing a qualitative sense of things. How do we think using numbers? Where does math come into science? And we also took up a case study of analyzing the gender divide to look at how science is conducted within society, and biases in society might influence how science itself is conducted. So we'll take some examples of 4 examples of what we did to give you a flavor of things. And I will invite some of the students to talk about their experience as we go through this. So one objective was to get them to develop a sense of numbers, think quantitatively, do intelligent estimation. How long would it take to count to 1 billion? So what do you think? Just think about it. It was very non-intuitive. I'm not going to give you the answer out here. Anyone can calculate it, but the first thing is, very, very sort of different from what the calculations show. We also did a very interesting experiment, which Benjamin Franklin had done a couple of 100 years ago, using household materials, estimating the size of atoms and molecules. So basically, the experiment involved putting a drop of nail polish into a tub like this on the paper, and then pulling out the thing, and getting a film, a very, very thin film of nail polish like this. So I would invite Siddharth, Venkatesh, and Adi at this point of time to briefly share their experience of this.
So I'm Siddharth Venkatesh, and in this experiment, basically we were told that Benjamin Franklin was able to cover 1/4 of the surface of a lake with just the amount of oil in a teaspoon. And from using that, we were able to calculate the thickness of the film that formed over the surface of the lake by dividing the amount of oil in the teaspoon, the volume, by the surface area that it covered. And we were really shocked to find that the thickness of the oil film was only 15 atoms thick. And yeah, now I'll just hand it over to Adi.
Did you also?
While doing this
go
experiment,
on, Adi.
While doing this experiment, we realized that a lot of things can go wrong. So a few of them could be like simple human errors, but like most of them also rely on measurements because we didn't have access to a lot of high-end equipment. So getting the precise measurements of the volume of a drop, because a drop is like very tiny. And the other one that we found was we had to calculate the surface area that the oil spread, and it was an irregular shape. So we sort of took an average circle of it. So the measurements and everything will not be as accurate as possible. And yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Venki and Adi. So the students did this experiment multiple times, once with us, once at homes, and though they got some answers, they have more questions. So science is a process, and hopefully they will continue to investigate some of these things. Taking one more example, this was about applying proportional reasoning and probabilistic thinking in making sense of data, all hi-fi words, but one of the cases we did was salmon, when they are born in a freshwater lake, they go out to the sea, and when the time comes for them to spawn, they go back to the lake. So the hypothesis was that salmon go back to the same lake, though this is an actual real life experiment. But to figure out whether salmon go back to the same lake they were born in, the first step scientists need to do is to estimate the number of fish in the lake. So I will invite Nia to talk about it. So ideally, what we wanted to do was, this is chart made by Arshia Bhasin. So she was actually going to talk about this chart, and people were going to be invited to do an actual hands-on experiment. So Nia did this with her family, and she will just tell you briefly about, so scientifically this is called the mark and recapture method, but she will tell you what she did. Yeah.
Yeah, so to test this experiment and answer it a bit more better, me and Asha had come up with an experiment using pom-poms. So what we have done is that we have yellow and white pom-poms, and we're taking a number of white colored pom-poms and 7 of the yellow ones and put them in a bag. And after that, we asked to pick out randomly a number of them, and from how much we picked out, we had to find the ratio between the white colored and the yellow colored pom-poms. And according to that, you will estimate the number of total pom-poms in the bag. So we had used this experiment to sort of connect it and make it more easy to understand the mark and recapture salmon fish experiment.
And how well could you estimate, Nia, how many total numbers were there, and what were the estimates based on this?
So starting, we had started with around 5. I picked out 5, but I realized it was very less number, and then we could not get the exact 26 number of balls in it, and it was a very large gap difference. So we started picking out a bit more larger number, like around 13 to 15, and then I got sort of closer to 26, around like 23, but it wasn't exact 26.
Thank you, Nia. So this is not a very trivial kind of a thing because it involves probability, but I think students have started developing an intuition for this. This is also the method used to estimate the number of tigers in a tiger sanctuary and so on. Yeah, we also looked at the role of math in scientific reasoning. We looked at Gauss, who sort of invented the method of linear regression. There was a missing dwarf planet or asteroid, Ceres. So Anushka and Anusha were going to take you through this on their laptops, but you will have to catch them later on that. Finally, we looked at the bias in science and how more science is the answer to addressing these biases. So we looked at the gender divide, myths and facts about male and female brains. So one of the sort of things, facts, is that the female brain is 5 ounces lighter than the male brain. And there are, many people who claim that this is responsible for men being naturally better mathematicians. So Siddharth, would you like to quickly talk about this?
So the fact that it is 5 ounces lighter is a fact. But when you compare this to the body, the average mass of the body, then that 5 ounces becomes inconsequential. It doesn't have any meaning. because like when you're comparing the average mass of a female body to the 5 ounce lighter brain, then it doesn't matter because the ratio is the same.
Yeah, thanks for that. So basically, since males are heavier than females, it's sort of adjusted. So this is the kind of thing we did, and we plan to continue the journey. Genwise is working with the science teachers at Inventure, and we plan to bring in a lot of such activities into the curriculum itself. And students and parents are free to write to us at any point of time, in a few weeks, months, in a few years. And we are very happy to share this kind of thing with you. Scientific reasoning is not something which is learned in a few sessions or a couple of months. Thank you all. Bye.
Thank you so much, Vishnu. Wonderful.
Thank you so much, Vishnu, for that presentation. I wish I had learned science this way, and I think, my life would have taken a different trajectory there. But having said that, thank you so much, students and the entire GenWise team, for sharing that. I would now like to invite the NYS team to please come and share their work with everyone.
Good morning. Junior Academy is an elite group of problem solvers with talented students and STEM experts collaborating to design innovative solutions to global STEM challenges. Additionally, students develop vital 21st century skills such as leadership, communication, and collaboration. I would gladly report that all students that will present right now have been accepted into NYS to leave a global footprint. Hi, I'm Shreya Jain, and my topic was building earthquake-resistant structures. So an earthquake is intense shaking of the Earth's surface caused by movement in Earth's surface. The effects of earthquakes are casualties, infrastructure destruction, injuries, psychological effects, economic impacts, and environmental effects. Collapsing buildings cause $2.1 billion in damage and 10,000 deaths a year on average. There are different ways to predict earthquakes: earthquake lights, rate and gas emissions, electric signals, machine learning, foreshocks, and magnetometers. We can engineer a structure in many different ways: tall buildings, steel cross braces, steel beams, steel cladding, expanded meshes, and damping. I also did a case study on the Tokyo Sky Tree Tower in Japan, but due to time constraints, this is where the presentation will end.
Yeah. So I just wanted to say, as we wait for the next person to share screen and take on the presentation, that this year, 25 students from NYA's group have been selected for the round 2, where they will be working with students from across different schools across the world. And this has been a huge learning experience for our students. And typically, this is, we've been winning this competition a couple of years, and we really look forward to our students taking this forward.
Hi, so this is my group on eutrophication. So firstly, before I start, I'll just tell you what eutrophication is. So it's a process in which a water body becomes overly enriched with nutrients. And sorry, ma'am, could you just move to the next slide? No, ma'am, the one before that. Ma'am, this one. Thank you, ma'am. So, as I was saying, it's a process in which a water body becomes overly enriched with nutrients, and these sort of leads to plentiful growth of simple plant life. And the excessive growth or bloom of algae and plankton in a water body are indicators of this process. And it is considered to be a serious environmental concern since it often results in the deterioration of water quality and the depletion of dissolved oxygen in water bodies. So, this also affects the surrounding marine life. And cyanobacteria is widely known as blue green algae, and they are bacteria that contain like a large amount of chlorophyll, and they grow largely in phosphorus lakes. And so this so when water bodies are overly enriched with nutrients like phosphorus and nitrogen, the growth of algae, plankton, and is favored, and they reduce the oxygen in the water bodies, and this also affects other surrounding marine life. And you can see this green color which you see in the water is a sign of this. And can you go to the next one? So our solution is that this process can be controlled by preventing the inflow of phosphorus-rich substances into the water bodies and avoiding the overuse of fertilizers, and the proper channeling of agricultural wastes also help in prevention of eutrophication. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is our group. Our topic is providing healthcare in impoverished and rural areas. We know the problem statement is that we noticed that there's a lack of access to healthcare in rural areas, mental and physical. Many people have tried to find a solution first, but it's a very widespread issue. So not many people have found a good solution for it.
So the barriers to address before we can start this project is low literacy, because there's low levels of education, cultural and social barriers, discrimination and racism, lack of awareness and knowledge, and obviously financial constraints as there's a lack of money.
So what we plan to do for this is we can conduct quizzes in nearby public schools because they're part of the impoverished percentage of the population, and the first step is to spread awareness about the problem, and it's a very important step, and we think that it's also a very applicable solution as we can do it in real life instead of just theoretically propose the idea.
We want to continue this project as the first or second. It's the first or second time we do it. It might not actually affect everybody. We want to repeat the process many times so that we can see if our solutions actually affected and helped certain children or people.
Ritvika, just give me a minute. Ojas, can you
Yeah.
please start
I
presenting?
was just about to ask. Okay.
Can you hear me? Hello? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Siddhant, you want to present?
Yeah, 1 second.
Yeah, cool. Hello, everyone. We're going to be talking about the future of aviation.
So the problem is, how can we make commercial planes more efficient and comfortable through streamlining and tech integrations? So we know that air travel is the most preferred way to get from one place to the other. And we think there's a lot of room for improvement in areas such as safety, aerodynamics, green energy, materials, and privacy.
We have some background information. There are lots of different shapes that are being developed for aircraft. You can see the bird of prey there is a beautiful example of a plane developed by Airbus. Modern aerodynamic parts include truss-braced wings, new alternatives to petroleum-based fuel like HEFA, SAC blends, new materials such as alloy 7075 and carbon fiber.
So for the approach, our proposed solutions are the usage of new age light but durable alloys, the improvement of TCS and GPS systems in planes so that they can move more safely in the air, using green energy such as solar power, wind power, and integrating safety features into the design of the plane itself. So our hypothesis is through the improvement of communication, display, and technological systems in planes, we can make the aviation experience more comfortable, efficient, and safe for everyone in the future.
Vijay?
Focusing on the aerodynamics part, there are many features that we've found out that will help improve the efficiency of the aircraft, such as gap seals, wheel pans, flush-mounted rivets, and the double bubble, which is basically moving the airplane engines up towards the top. And last and definitely not least, the truss-braced wings, which are both implemented into our 3D model at the end.
Okay, so these are different materials we decided to make a plane out of. One of them was known as Alloy 7075, which is really light and durable. We also decided to mix parts of the plane with carbon fiber. So this material is suitable for replacing the current alloy used in plates, and it's mostly made out of aluminum, but combined with carbon fiber, it makes it durable, light, and strong.
So here are some alternatives to petroleum-based fuels. So there's something called a HEFA, a fuel type, and that can be produced from a wide range of vegetable oils and fats, such as soybean. It doesn't contain any aromatics or sulfur. It's high in cetane, and it's a drop-in fuel, which means that no modifications need to be made to the engine. It can just be put straight in as a replacement for petroleum-based fuel. There have been many trial flights, and all of them have been successful.
So for comfort and aircraft safety, we want to improve the comfort of the economy seats, but not to the level of business class to increase cost efficiency. So the improvements you want to include are more legroom, a wider aisle, footrest, and armrest dividers. And for safety, the major reason for safety issues in aviation is due to human errors. So we want to improve that by regular training for pilots, improved cockpit instrumentations, fly-by-wire systems, usage of technology, improvement of technology policy, and something known as inertial measurement units. So this is just a model of the plane.
Yeah, so this is a 3D model which we designed. So as you can see, the new improvements that we've labeled on it, there are truss brace wings, a T-wing tail, and the dual engines in the back.
So in conclusion, when the Wright brothers made the first airplane in 1903, it was a widely used mode of transport and still is. And we want to make it the best it can be. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, students from the NYS team, for presenting this. With that, I'd now like to call the Changemaker team to please come and showcase their work as well.
So much, Rama. I will share my screen. Ria, are you ready?
Lavanya, can you increase the volume on your thing a little bit?
Am I audible now? Thank you, Soumya. I'm just going to set my screen. Please give me a minute. Can you all see it? Is it visible? All right, thank you. Ria, all yours.
Ma'am, it's not showing the presentation. It's showing the folder.
Okay. Just give me a second, please. Is it visible now?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you.
One second. Yes. Hi, I'm Ria. Should I turn on my camera? Hi, I'm Ria from grade 11C. For my Changemaker project, I have designed a platform called Meraki. Now, can you go to the next slide? Yeah. So the problem statement was that I was writing lyrics, but I couldn't sing. So I wanted artists to help me. And for this, I couldn't connect with anyone. So the point of this platform is to help artists to connect, artists of different kinds, like musicians, singers, visual artists, dancers, anyone really. Next slide. Yeah. So the next slide. Yeah. How I'll be doing this is through a website which I set up using Wix. It will have a blog, member pages, and groups. So people can chat over there and connect with each other and then collaborate. The potential impact of this is that there'll be a functioning website and an Instagram page where work can be displayed, and also a showcase event, which can be a fundraiser too. So the vision is that we have a functioning website where artists of different kinds can connect and collaborate and create whatever they would like to express. The objectives are to have the website and the event. Next slide.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ria. Alina, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, just give me 1 second. Is it visible now?
Yeah.
All right, I'm just putting it on full screen mode.
Hi, so I'm Alina from Grade 10 IG, and today I'll be talking about the project Greenwashing that my group has worked on. So I'm sure most of you are unaware of the term greenwashing, which is a very big reason as to why we chose this as our project. Now, greenwashing is when a company falsely advertises their product as green and sustainable for the environment, and therefore is used as a marketing strategy for consumers to create more revenue and try and change the market, but they are really not doing that as it's falsely marketed. So our aim was to bring about a change to greenwashing, but simply educating others around us about greenwashing was not going to help. So we decided to come up with audit sheets that would help companies to actually check how green and conscious their products are as to how they are marketing it. So far we've created a general internal audit which various different companies can use, not just certain types which we want to create, but due to time constraint, we've only been able to create one. You can take a look at it if you can go to the next slide, ma'am, to the end. Here is our internal audit. And we also did some case studies as to different companies who have been greenwashing their clients and consumers. Thank you.
Thank you, Ria. Akshat, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am. So for my change maker program, I created a website called Funds Made Easy. Ma'am, could you go to the next slide, please? So my problem statement is that these days, as more and more businesses emerge, many businesses are not able to set up because they don't have a lack of funds. So what my website plans to do, it will combat this problem by allowing potential investors to donate towards the projects which they're interested in. So what's my plan? I'm going to create the website for fundraising, and then I'm going to advertise it on various social media programs such as Instagram and Facebook. Aside from this, I'll also make an additional Instagram page so that entrepreneurs can project their ideas onto this page and gain a wider audience so to invest. So progress, I'm nearly done with the website, and then I'll start with the Instagram page. So the impact of this project will that after this project, there'll be a space for entrepreneurs to raise awareness about their project and gain funds, and let the investors invest in ideas that they're interested in, and also to let the entrepreneurs to advertise on the Instagram page, so the chances in getting funds are higher. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Akshat. Shivani, are you able to see your presentation?
Not yet, ma'am.
Not yet? Okay. Is it okay now?
Yes, ma'am. So my name is Shivani from 11 ASB, and my website's name is Edudeer. Yeah. So the problem I aim to solve is that volunteers always have a difficult time to find volunteering opportunities, as there's no compiled place displaying opportunities. And NGOs always advertise, but this doesn't reach everyone that's interested in volunteering. And NGOs always have a difficult time finding volunteers and always are looking for more volunteers. Eduteer is a one-stop solution to finding volunteering opportunities. So what is Eduteer? It's a website that displays all types of student volunteering opportunities, from food drives to teaching to cleanup, etc., made by different NGOs. We would be partnering up with several of these NGOs, and it would be displayed on our website. So what's different about Eduteer? It's a one-stop place to finding a student volunteering opportunity suited for you. And there'll be several different types of opportunities displayed, from food drives, teaching, cleanup, etc. And these volunteering opportunities are more personalized to students. My team and I would be going to all of the NGOs that we partner up with to make sure that it is safe for students to volunteer at. So this is a process of opening our website and an NGO reaching out to you. So the website, Eduteer's website, will be shared to volunteers, and volunteers can scroll through the several opportunities provided in our website. And they can select an opportunity that they're interested in, fill a Google form with all their contact details, and NGO will get back to them. So the launch of our website is in 1 month, as I'm still partnering up with several different NGOs. Thank you.
Thank you, Shivani. Did we come in?
Thank you so much to the Changemaker team. A quick note to all the students: if you guys are presenting, then it'll be great if you can turn your cameras on. While your presentations are great, it always puts a smile on our faces to see your faces as well, right? With that, we would now like to invite the Do New Quest team to please take the stage and present their wonderful.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I hope I'm sharing my screen, Ritvika.
Yes, Payal, we can see your screen.
Okay, so this is about Inventure Quest internship. I'll give you a quick introduction to the Do New Quest projects. Now, what are these Quest projects? They are futuristic individual projects with super ambitious goals. And these goals are designed when we get students' strengths and interest reports. These help in exploring the bleeding edge of progress and state of the art in science and technology. This is an integration of passion, mission, profession, and vocation. Finding Ikigai is very hard. So Do New projects help us to find these sweet spots. These Quest projects are based on 3 main points. One is identifying if a career is for me or not, go deep in an interested field, pick up a skill that is critical for academic or professional life ahead. Flavor 1 is career rights, which is an integration of what you love and what you are good at. Career deep dives are an amalgamation of passion, mission, profession, and vocation. This year, we introduced students to 20 new ninja skills, and we divided their projects into three main categories. Under invention, prototype, and design, we had animation and gaming, design for oxygen concentrators, adaptive rock climbing, 1 rupee keyboard, and a solution to protect authentic Indian handicrafts. Exploration, analysis, and insight included projects like Bitcoin price movements, predict Nifty 50 stock index. Deep dive and purpose solution projects included prevent vehicle driver accidents and making India into self-sufficient and phone manufacturing powerhouse. Over to Questers Arjun Partha.
Thank you, ma'am. I'll just present. Right, is my screen visible? Uh, Hello, good morning. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yes, you're audible.
Okay, good morning. My name is Arjun Partha, and I'm going to talk about my Quest internship experience. And I opted for two career rides in artificial intelligence and augmented reality. My first career ride was Project Kagas. My idea was to develop an app for an AI optimized, fully customizable paper keyboard that was sustainable, affordable, and accessible to all. The major problem with keyboards is that, to me, they take a lot of desk space, they wear out very quickly, they take a lot of plastic to make, they're not portable, and they don't exactly connect to mobile phones easily. So what I'm trying to do is replace the need for a keyboard to input and edit text. My solution is the Akash app. Akash is short for AI Keyboard Accessible, Sustainable, and Hand-Drawn. It will be a free app for both mobile and PC. So how would you use Akash? First thing you would have to do is draw or print a keyboard layout. Then you'd want to take a overhead photo of this layout, and then you have to position the camera so that you can see you typing. Like on the right here, I've given two setups. And then you can begin typing. This here is a demo of my code, and this is how it's going to track the user while they're typing. Right. So during the design thinking process, one challenge I came across was the keys not being recognized when you take that overhead photo. So the app will be designed to highlight the unrecognized portions of the keyboard. Then the user can change or tweak it however they see fit. My second career ride was Project Bharat, which stands for Bring Home Authentic Regional Artisanship, Tradition, and Heritage. My idea was to empower local artisans through technology. Now, the problem with the Indian handicraft market is that it's flooded with these machine-made fakes and knockoffs. So the buyer cannot tell whether a handicraft they buy is genuine or not. What I'm attempting to do is ensure that buyers of Indian handicrafts get genuine products and artisans get their dues. Now, my solution is in 4 steps. The first step is the registration of the artisans at a nearby post office. And then it will be the verification of the artisans and the workshop and the product information by a Bharat trained postman. On successful verification, a unique artisan ID is generated by the Bharat Kendra. It will follow a specific format: state, pin code, unique 6-digit number. As you can see here, an example would be KA 562120 00001. So this is the first artisan who has come from Chanpatna, Karnataka. The third step would be involving the Umang Central database. So the Umang is a short form for United Master Artisans National Guild. So this will be used to capture and store the artisan video and the product information. Then comes the Umang seal of authenticity. The Umang holographic sticker with a QR code is given for each item made by a registered artisan. These stickers are printed on demand and are dispatched from the Bharat Kendra to the artisan by speed post. Once the artisan receives these stickers, he can stick them onto each item, and that Umang sticker is a promise of verified authenticity. To popularize Project Bharat, I plan on launching a social media campaign called Har Ghar Karigar that encourages every Indian citizen to buy an Indian handicraft within their budget. So this is a demo of my solution. This is a prototype of the Umang holographic sticker with the QR code. So if you scan it, you will get something like this, and then you will get the artisan video. So some of the benefits is that first, it guarantees the authenticity of the handicrafts. It gives recognition for the artisans who are keeping traditions alive. It encourages buyers to support these artisans. It can revive declining traditional arts and crafts, and it gives a boost to the postal services of India, who are extremely important in Project Bharat. So, in my Quest internship experience, the most enjoyable part was learning ninja skills that I plan to use for the rest of my life. I learned that I like to solve challenges that a large audience face. I learned that when you're doing an ambitious project, you shouldn't begin a project by setting limits for yourself, because then you won't know your true potential and how much you can excel. And I see myself pursuing a career in AI optimized hardware. So after this internship, I plan on making a working prototype for Project Kagas and file a patent. And I would like to write to the Prime Minister to gather support for Project Bharat and the Har Ghar Karigar campaign. Thank you.
Thank you, Arjun, for sharing your exciting quest journey. While Arushi sets up her presentation, wanted to share that as mentors, we were thrilled to be a part of the questers' journey of 12 amazing questers. The kind of heart and perseverance they have showed in taking on these really ambitious problems was inspiring. Their flexibility and willingness to learn, push their boundaries, and come up with really out of the box ideas was indeed amazing. Now, on to another quest journey with Arushi. Arushi, are you ready?
Yeah. Can you
Yes.
see me?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Hi. My name is Arishi, and my project was to make an intelligent rock climbing wall. And my problem was, like recently I started climbing after watching the Olympics, and I've met many different climbers from different levels, like from really young kids to like national level climbers. And I noticed that there's not enough customizations possible on the wall without a coach. And if you want feedback on your climb, it's very manual and delayed. And the routes, which is the pathway you take to climb up, are very fixed and hard to change. So my solution was to use my interest in engineering to design a cheaper multi-purpose intelligent climbing wall. And so a few other problems that I realized I could solve is that for a sports facility owner in a gym, there's limited space. It's hard to have equal routes of different difficulty levels. And the routes can be, like the supply of routes can be exhausted, and it's time consuming and expensive to change the routes. So it could help that section of the climbing world. Also for climbers, they can try out routes done by other climbers. So it'll be stored in the computer rather than them talking to the other climbers. Then it's easier for young climbers to get scared and discouraged. So gamification of the wall would encourage them to try it out and become better at climbing. And experienced climbers get bored if they're doing the same route over and over again. And so I chose this topic because there are a large number of target users. It combines my interest in sports, design, and engineering. And this whole idea can be expanded to be like personalized for each climber. And eventually it could be made into a company. And so my approach and solution is to create an intelligent wall, and each hold would have sensors and an LED in them. Yeah. And so there are few existing solutions that I explored, but each of them come with their own disadvantages, like training boards, which are standardized walls with holes that light up to form routes. They're expensive and it's hard to analyze your climb. Then there's clip and climb, which is like an indoor climbing experience, usually used for fun, but mainly for younger kids. You can't usually use it for training. And then there's video analysis, which is not efficient and it takes time and it's very manual. And so in my wall, there are two main components. the indication of routes, and climbing data collection and analysis. And so to indicate routes, there are two ways to do it. One would be to use LED lights, like the training boards, and lights to indicate which hole to use, and augmented reality, which is a camera projection unit at the back that indicates which hole to use. I ultimately chose LED lights because they're energy efficient, they're cheaper, they're retrofitted, and they include fewer components. And then to collect climber data, there are two ways to do that. You could use a strain gauge at the bottom of the hole. Those have a pressure sensor inside the hole. This is cost effective and easier to maintain. However, you could also use modified wrist sensor. This assesses the transitions in the stability, but they have limited sensors and are expensive, and there's a chance of it getting broken during the climb. So I ultimately chose using a strain gauge at the bottom of the hole. And so this was my systems diagram, which is where I summarized my whole product, which would be, these are the holes, this is the wall, and this is the Raspberry Pi, which would be the computer part. And this is the monitor to display your route, and it can be like interactive. And so this is my design of the handhold, where like I showed what components would be inside. Like this would be the strain gauge at the bottom, a battery, the light, and all. And so this project could benefit different sections and different age groups. So like for professional climbers, they could use it for analysis, and they would have like lesser reliance on pre-made routes and coaches. They could climb on their own. And then younger climbers, like the holes can light up when touched, and the gamification. And if they're climbing and they're finding the route too hard, the routes would change, or the lights would change. So it just makes it easier for them and encourages them. For casual climbers, they could climb routes that other people have used and get more comfortable with the process of climbing. And there are a few other random uses that it could be used for: to time a route, to create a database, and connect it to a screen. And yeah. And so for me, what's next? I want to make a prototype and test it, and ultimately write a research paper. And I could, make a company out of this product. So my personal reflection was, throughout the process, I found validating my idea very meaningful, like by talking to other people, other climbers, my coach, and everything. But the frustrating part was like, time management, going through research papers, and I had to adapt my project multiple times because, yeah. And so a few of my favorite ninja skills were drilling these three. And yeah, and I learned a few things about myself too, that I panic easily, and talking helps me articulate my thoughts. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Arushi. Thank you so much, Arjun, for sharing your work with us, and all the very best to not just you, to all the questers, in the projects that they have taken on. We look forward to seeing more from you in the coming few months as well. Okay, with that, we now have the Stableboard team ready with their presentations, and I would like to call Hashir to come and start this presentation.
Sure. Thank you, Ritvika, ma'am. Good afternoon to Inventure teachers, parents, and kids on the call. Thank you for having us here. I'm going to take exactly 1 minute to set some context on Stableboard learning, who we are and what is it that we do. And then the proof is in the pudding. So we're going to have the kids talk about and present some of the projects that they've done, right? So quick question for everyone on the call. As you've ever walked through a supermarket or grocery store, have you ever wondered why, chips, snacks, soft drinks, and Haldiram packets are always, kept together? Have you also, ever wondered why small chocolates, chewing gums, and candies are kept at checkout counters, right? While you think about that, one more, anecdote. My mother called me up last week and she said, "Hey, Ashir, I was just speaking with a friend about, earrings. And I didn't type it anywhere. My phone was maybe around me. I was just speaking to a friend. A couple of days later, when I went into Amazon and social media websites, I started getting advertisements for earrings. This is super weird. This is super natural. Even though I never typed it anywhere, how am I seeing ads for that, right? I think the point that I'm trying to lean towards this. Data is now all around us. Every single day, every single second, millions and millions of gigabytes of data being used. So supermarkets use data about shoppers, about our behaviors to decide what products will be sold at what parts of the store. So the innocent supermarket that you think, it actually uses a lot of data on where you walk, where you spend more time, when you check out, to make calls on, to improve your shopping experience, right? And essentially that's our mission, right? With the world around us utilizing and using data so much, analytics and leveraging data is all around us. It doesn't matter what career you take. You want to become a doctor, you want to become an engineer, a lawyer, an artist, a painter, an astronaut. You will have to learn to use data and solve problems using data, right? So essentially, at Stablebo, we are an organization that partner with schools. We're partnered with Inventure and trying to teach students the mindset of problem solving, trying to teach students the foundations of data-driven problem solving. We work with students on 3 levels that you can see on screen. The first level being, teaching the foundations of problem solving and data. The second level being more advanced on machine learning concepts, and third level being, stronger internships and mentorships, right? So I want to spend less time talking about what we do, and I want to actually show all of you what the students have done, the projects that they've done, and solve problems that they've solved using data. So over to you, students on the call. We're going to have Sripad, Varun, and Vedant walk through the first project.
Hello, everyone. My name is Vedant. Today, me and my teammates Sripad and Varun are going to be doing our presentation on house prices. So our problem statement was the factors affecting the price of a house. When you ask a home buyer to describe their dream house, they probably won't talk about the height of a basement ceiling or the proximity to a railroad. But in reality, there are factors that influence the house price of a house much more than the number of bedrooms or a white picket fence. Our job is to determine those factors.
To solve this problem, we had to use the SCQ format to first identify the problem and the complication question. So our situation is there are many factors affecting the price of a house, and we don't know which ones affect the price in what way. This is complicated by the fact that the house has to satisfy the buyer's criteria and also fall within their budget. So, and also all the factors may not necessarily contribute to the price equally, and some may not even make a difference.
So after this, we made a social map. It's basically like a mind map in which you group up similar factors which we came up with, such as size, which has number of bedrooms and plot area, and other stuff like build quality and architecture.
Here are the factors we thought would increase the price of the house. So some of them are overall high quality of the house, having a garden, having a pool, and a better type of flooring.
So now we actually had to test the factors. We can't just write them down. So here's a graph we made. We had about 1,400 data points, and we made a graph using those. And the graph shows that the newer the house, the more expensive they are.
Yeah, so as Sripad said, we had 1,400 data points. So with this, we first made a pivot table, and then we used the feature in Excel to make this graph. And as you can see, for the living area, a higher living area will directly increase, it'll be proportional to the price of a house. So yeah, and also for the bathrooms, more bathrooms will increase the price substantially. Here are some other factors that increase the price.
And another thing was the foundation, which we thought was pretty interesting. So poured concrete, pretty obviously, is the most expensive out of all the other foundations.
So finally, the factors we thought would increase the price of the house the most were the bathrooms, the living area, the heating type, and the foundation quality.
Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Raghavan, and me, Shiv, and Raghav basically took on a project of creating a FIFA team. So one of the main reasons we chose this problem statement for our data science project is mainly because, firstly, the topic seemed intriguing and interesting, as we all enjoy football. And we also were able to implement what we learned about data analyzing, filtering, and sorting into this problem statement, which helped us apply our learnings into real world situations.
So we analyzed our problem statement in a mind map, and we concluded that the main problems in maintaining a football club was expenditures and time. And we could use this data to tell investors in the football club about some issues they may face and how to get past them.
There was quite a bit of data to leverage, and after organizing the data, we were surprised at how much information we could get out of a player. And there were a couple of hypotheses that we made, like putting high potential players in one team, so it's good for the club's future, and a mix of old and young generally makes a successful team.
And these with making pivot tables, these were proved right. And if any of you want to take this very fun project, you can make multiple teams, like a high budget, a medium budget, and a low budget, as it's always good to give choices. But we made a medium budget with a lot of different features in it. Yeah, and this could further enhance the project. Thank you. And yeah, these were the final levels and the different pivot tables we made so we could come to the final level. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, hi, my name is Shriya, and I'm part of the water portability team with Naisha and Dia. So, our topic was what makes water portable, and we received a huge set of data to solve this problem. So, our problem was, the access to drinking water, which wasn't there. So, we came up with a question, which is why is there less access to drinking water? So, we're basically going to talk about challenges that we faced taking this data, because in real life you will not get data that meets all the requirements. Even in our project, we had difficulties dealing with the raw data, so we found strategies to clean up the data, like averaging the data out and researching more about the data and the units. We also researched on the portable range of values for each factor. Since most of our doubts were clarified over the weekend, it was hard to put it together, but from this, we learned time management skills and how to distribute work effectively between the team. We also learned how to handle large amounts of data, and we learned how to deal with problems with raw data and come up with solutions. We are looking forward to further analyzing the data through programming, AI, and machine learning, and we're also looking forward to implementing these skills in real life situations. Thank you.
Abhishek, we're not able to get audio.
BA, I already had a brief idea on what data analysis was. Stilpo really helped me broaden my knowledge in a very simple and easy to understand way. The problem my group and I had to solve was on water portability, which basically focuses on what makes water drinkable. It was our first time working with so much data, and we thought it would be really hard to clean and manage all of it. However, making our hypothesis and analyzing the data was a lot of fun. It was really interesting to see how many inferences were made with the same amount of data. Also, we learned how to use a pivot table, which was quite fascinating. In general, we learned how to accurately analyze data and how to break down and solve problems. These are really important skills to have, and they will definitely help in the future. Another important skill we learned was delegation. So towards the deadline, we were rushing quite a bit, and we knew all of us couldn't work on everything together. So the skill of delegation came into play. And I know we will be using the skill very often. I do recommend this program to other students because it really teaches you about the fundamental skills required not only for data analysis, but for solving any problem in general. It's really important to own these skills, and Stable really helps develop them. That pretty much sums up my reflection. Thank you.
Thank you. I know we're over time. Ritvika ma'am, over to you. Just wanted to say we had a lot of fun working with the kids from Inventure, and some of them solved the problems in even better ways than we imagined. So thank you.
Thanks a ton, Hashir, and the entire team of Stable Bow. The next project that we have for all of you is actually not just one, but actually 4 different projects, and that's a community outreach program, a program that all of us have, we are very, very proud of. So I would like to have the Girl Up team come up and present their work, please.
Hello, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Divyansh Tiwari, and today we're here to present the Girl Up Life Skills. Now, Life Skills is a workshop with the objective to upskill adolescents to be able to aspire and build a future plan. face challenges, and be a role model for others in the sphere of our influence. We conduct a total of 5 modules, each with 2 sessions, which we'll take you through right now.
In the world we live today, there are so many inequalities all around us. But through knowledge, people are provided with more opportunities, which is how Girl Up aims at empowering.
The most important thing we do here at Girl Up is ensure that we understand each and every student so that they all have a very impactful learning experience.
And it's awesome to watch them grow each module, each session, little by little, day by day. And even if all you get that day is just a smile on their face, it's worth it.
Hi, I'm Simone, and I'll be talking about the icebreaker session. So during our time at RGH, we conducted a series of icebreaker questions before each module in order to initiate a more welcoming atmosphere and to get to know the students better. A few of the icebreaker games were ball throw, in which we had a ball and passed it to the students. They caught the ball, answered a few questions about themselves, and passed it on to the next person. This was an introductory game allowing us to get to know them better and have a more interactive session. The second game was the vegetable market, where we held out a few vegetables local to that area, and we asked them what they make at home with those vegetables. This was to introduce the concept of the food pyramids to them, giving it a more personal touch.
Hi, everyone. I hope everyone's doing well. I'm Kavya Narayan, and I'm going to be talking about the first model. The first module is all about physical fitness. So we started with a couple of icebreaker rounds, like Simone told you. Then we went on to discuss the importance of physical exercise. The following session's objective was to teach them all about hygiene in terms of keeping a balanced diet, which also affects their physical and mental health. With the help of visual aids, acronyms, and quizzes, we believe we were able to keep our sessions fun and very interactive. These sessions have been learning experiences for not only the students, but also us. In the following sessions, we will strive to instill appreciation, self-awareness in the students. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Shreya, and I'll be talking about the second module that we plan to do, which is on emotional well-being. In the first session of this module, we aim to teach them about understanding emotional well-being in terms of what it is, its importance, how to identify, deal with, and express emotions in a healthy manner. And in the second session, we aim to teach them about making healthy choices and dive deeper into the importance of self-care and reaching out for help when needed, and much more.
Hi, I'm Ananya, and I'll be talking about the third module. In the third module, we teach them about the map of life. In this module, we aim to teach the students the importance of setting smart goals, how to achieve these goals through using things like social connections and networking, planning for their future, and how to handle failure. We feel it is important to teach skills such as these to kickstart the process of accomplishing their goals and provide guidance so that they are working towards and are prepared for their futures.
Hi, my name is Arya. I'll be speaking about Module 4 and 5. So Module 4 is about financial literacy, where we'll be teaching students about finances and basic economics like taxes. Further, they will learn about investing, saving and compounding, and making money via various instruments in the stock market and money markets. This will give them a basic idea about money in general and how to manage their finances, something which state syllabus doesn't cover just as much. Module 5 is on sustainable living, and in this module, we aim for students to understand what sustainability is and why some of the current issues in Bengaluru have happened as a result of unsustainable practices. Further, we will teach them about sustainable practices of the past specific to this geography and India as a whole that has helped us survive and thrive over the past thousands of years.
With that, we come to an end of our presentation. These are a few pictures of how, when we went there and interacted with the kids. We have a few more videos which have been shared in the Padlet about our experience and the children's experience. Thank you, everyone, for listening.
Thank you so much, Divyansh. With that, can I please invite the Reading Buddy team to please share their work as well?
Yeah, ma'am, just sharing my screen. Yeah, can everyone see my screen?
Yes,
Cool.
Kashvi.
Okay. Good morning to one and all present here. My name is Kashvi Arya, and I'm a volunteer from the Reading Buddy Community Outreach Program. My classmates and fellow volunteers, Manani and Tanushree, will be helping me out with the presentation we prepared for you, and really hope you enjoy it.
To better explain what we do at Reading Buddy, we have a short video that shows our work in action.
Is there audio? We can't hear anything.
There is supposed to be audio. Can you hear this now? So the obvious first question that we need to answer is what exactly do we do at Reading Buddy? So it's essentially a community outreach program wherein we visit the Ramangandanhalli Government School and we attempt to teach young students how to communicate in English. The students we teach are split into reading levels depending on their proficiency level on the language.
We, as volunteers for the Reading Buddy program, have certain checklists that we maintain before going for any session to ensure that our students get the best possible service from us. Here is the 4-step plan that we follow every single session. Point 1, reading the book beforehand.
Point 2, we formulate a basic lesson plan of any session that we're going to cover.
Point 3, making a word wall of difficult words.
Point 4 is practice, wherein we encourage our students to practice any difficult words that they have learned from the previous session.
There are undoubtedly many benefits for the Reading Buddy program, both to the students at RGH as well as to us. Some of them are listed on this slide. In terms of the benefits to the students at Inventure, interacting with students that are of a younger age than us is beneficial as it enhances our communication skills.
To the students of RGH, it's a great chance for them to learn a new language, especially for a language like English, whose versatility cannot be underestimated.
It's always helpful to gain some feedback on the lessons that we're teaching to students. So here's a video from the students at RGH about how the Reading Buddy program has been for them, and also a clipping from our own volunteers about how they have felt throughout the entire experience.
Tanushree, I need you to share screen. You have to share audio.
Sorry.
So during this program, I experienced the opportunity of teaching people who are less privileged than I am on how to read.
I honestly had a lovely experience being in the Reading Buddy program because I had the privilege to work with young and bright minds from RGH.
I taught a lot of kids, but I've also learned a lot because they've been teaching me Hindi and Kannada, which I wasn't very fluent in. And overall, it's just been a fantastic experience.
So teaching the government school kids was pretty enjoyable, as they would also participate a lot. I think it's something that the previous grades should do as well, and it's something that should be an option.
The experience has been quite enjoyable for me. It's been great helping out the kids in the government school. I think this initiative is something that should be carried on forward through the years.
They will say be confident and be your teacher and they will say, little mistake we will do now. They will say, no problem, it's okay, you can do. With reading buddy program, I can learn new words and I am able to learn stories.
So here we just have some pictures from the session that we had, the session that we have. We have 19 volunteers in total from the Reading Buddy program. Oh, okay. So basically, before we close for the next group to take over, we'd like to take you through the different reading levels that we deal with. There are 7 reading levels in total, and we have prepared a slideshow for 3 of them. This one is reading level A, which is designed for students who are just starting out on their journey to become proficient in the language.
Reading level C is the third of the 7 reading levels. This level is for students who are on their way to become proficient readers of the language.
Now, this is reading level E, which is for students who have just about reached proficiency with the language. And for this level, we make sure that the students are paying attention to things like punctuation and phrases.
This brings us to the end of our presentation. We really hope you enjoyed it and we were able to give you a better understanding and sense of what we're trying to achieve with this program. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And yes, we really enjoyed. It was just a delight to hear those little children from the RGH school speak. With that, I'd now like to invite the Be Able team to please come and present their project.
Hi, yeah, I'll just share my screen. I hope you guys can see it. Can you guys see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So, hi, my name is Ayan from grade 10 and I'm a volunteer from Be Able. And I'm just going to walk you through what we did in the past weeks in Sprint 1 and what we're going to do ahead of time. So I hope you enjoy my presentation and I'll go ahead. So the first and foremost thing is, what is Be Able? And also I'd like to explain the outcomes. Be Able is a community outreach program to provide government school kids the opportunity we take for granted, like dance, art, or even sports. We want to share our happiness with the children, hence the program. Now, our outcomes for the program which we wanted to deliver were to teach life skills through fun activities such as art, dance, and sports. We also want to give them a chance to bond with each other and allow them to analyze how their peers think and try to learn from it. We achieved this by using games such as football or cricket and even dog in the bone. Lastly, we wanted to give them a chance to enjoy themselves vividly, as you can see in the pictures below. Now I'm going to be going through what all our thing and how we did it. So in the dance program, our aim was by the end of it to make sure children and learn some basic common steps and know how to dance to at least one song. We taught them some simple steps one by one, and we took chants of our choice and one song from their choice. We helped them merge these two songs together and create a piece of art. We had a lot of fun with them because they taught us new things, and it really amazed us because we didn't think we could learn more. And it also gave us a new insight in life beyond our little bubble. Now onto the sports team, which was our main objective, was to teach kids life skills such as teamwork, team bonding, and even motivation for your team members. We achieved this also by using football, cricket, and even family-friendly games like Dog in the Bone, as I said. Now, how did we do it? First, we created a plan on how we're going to teach and their outcomes. Then we went to the school and started executing our plan. We later analyzed what went wrong and how we can better improve. And at this stage, we realized that we actually didn't know exactly what we're doing, and we felt we were not very well prepared. So I think this was a massive learning for us, and I think it taught us how we should always plan a lot before any activity we do. So I think after the later visits, we implemented this. Finally, we have the art group, which consisted of, again, Nitya, Navanya, and Rutvik, and they shared students with the dance group. And our aim of the art group was to try and nurture and grow the students' imagination and creativity with different projects we could prepare for them. Again, how did we do it? We first made a plan of our project. We took the resources needed to create the project. Then we helped the students make that project. We utilized, we tried to make them do all the work they can and us as mere guides. So what happens is they can learn from their own mistakes and try and better their old projects. We finally let the students can also customize their own artwork. Now our reflection. Our experience from visiting the and teaching the kids in the government school was really pleasurable and exciting, as it was a very enlightening experience for both the children and us. Our visit to the government school could have not gone better. We enjoyed playing games like Dog in the Bone, which found them very amusing, which they found very amusing. The government school children were divided into three groups: art, dance, and sports. The children got the opportunity to choose as they like. Over a couple of weeks, we visited the government school and divided the students and sent them to their stations. This was the division was done in the likings of the students, and we always kept an option for them to change. The art students made 3D shapes and bookmarks, which was very exciting for them. The dance students practiced a couple steps for a song. Lastly, the sports students were divided as per their which cricket and football, and had a blast playing their favorite sports. Now, since our visit was pretty short, we also took the pleasure of going to sprint 2 with the same people, and we created a few goals which we would like to accomplish. So one of them was to make use of the time we have with the students to its fullest and as being as efficient as possible. Trying to teach the students more skills of the sports rather than them just playing among themselves. We also like to set goals to teach them at least 3 skills per session. And also we'd like to plan an entire routine in session advance, even though we did create a slight plan, but it wasn't exactly as followed. We also want to try building a better relationship with the students so we can get to know the learning process and prioritize the students' learning and well-being over all other factors. Now I'd just like you to I'd like to show a video on the thing. Yeah.
Ayan, is there audio with this video?
Yeah, can you not hear it?
No.
This is one more time. Let's see. Can you hear it now? It's a small government school with only.
We could hear it, but we can't see it on the screen now.
I'm sorry, just.
No problem.
Yeah, it should work now.
Working now. Thanks, Anne.
No problem. BABL is a program that aims to bring beyond academic programs to the naming government school, Sulikonde Primary School. It's a small government school with only 2 teachers to manage everything for all the students. We aim to engage students in beyond academic activities that help students in developing interpersonal skills. We're currently running physical education, sports, dance, and art workshops for the children of grade 5 at the school. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Ayan. And with that, now we come to the last presentation of this entire event, which is the Paper Dojo team. Can I have Akshay, Mudit, and Shravya please present their work?
Hi, so I'm Shravya, and I'm going to be talking about Paper Dojo and the work we've done over the last couple of months. So first, to start with an introduction, what is Paper Dojo? We volunteered to teach introductory making skills to students at Ramagandanahalli Government School. We were trained and prepared at multiple sessions in the makerspace at school to deliver the program to young learners at the government school. The current curriculum has 6 paper-based activities to provide the grade 5 learners of RGH to expose them to hands-on STEM learning. We've done 3 projects with them so far. So our first visit to the government school, we split into 2 groups and interacted with 2 different sections. The first group taught them basics. We made them do introductory exercises and taught them how to make paper butterflies. As an icebreaker, the second group created a bullseye on the blackboard and challenged the students to create paper planes to use as darts and to score the maximum points. For the second visit, we were building supersized objects with paper. We increased the difficulty level a little and asked them to make a supersized scale of any object. We told them to choose an object around them and make a bigger version of it with newspaper and other tools and materials. Groups of children made supersized glasses of different shapes, glasses, fans, and a flower pot. On the third visit, we investigated structure and stability to teach them core STEM concepts. We rolled newspapers into dowels and used it to build a tower as tall as possible, or maybe even taller than them, that could stand on its own. So our reflections were that the students were very enthusiastic, interactive, and fun to instruct. They really enjoyed the activities and were curious and inquisitive about whatever they were assigned to do. They were very quick learners. We also learned how to be more patient with children and convey our instructions properly. And we learned how to properly convey the STEM concepts we know to government school children. Now, here are a few pictures of our time there and all the activities we did. So for our next steps, we're going to have training on the next 3 lessons after our terms. Once that's over, we'll continue to visit the government school and continue with the remaining 3 modules left in the program. Now we have Now we have a video from the students giving their own reflections for the program.
Hello, my name is Manjuna, and I am talking about the Inventure School Bhaiya and Didis, and I want to tell them thank you for teaching me paper dojo. My favorite thing to do is making 2-feet tower, and I learned to make do teamwork, and I had so much of fun. And my favorite, thank you.
All right, that's it for our presentation. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you all. With that, we come to the end of this event. I hope you all had a good time. As educators, I can tell you, and I speak on behalf of the entire faculty and the mentors, that it gives us an immense sense of pride and reassurance when we see the kind of effort our students have put in making this program a success. I can tell you it was not easy, and we really sometimes push them hard to go beyond their comfort zones and really commit to the requirement of each project. A big shout out to all my Inventure mentors who worked relentlessly to guide students through their projects. A special thanks to all our external mentors, the Do New team, the GenWise team, the Stableboard team, and the BPAC team, who have taken their time and share their expertise and work with us as true partners and collaborators in making this program a success. We continue to count on your support and partnership as we move to the next sprint. Thank you so much, students. We are extremely, extremely proud of you. And now we'll have to ask you to log off and log into your next class. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in.
Thank you.